Hey fam. Once again, please pause the video and go get yourself a cold glass of water because hydration is important, okay? Pause the video and go get water. Now, very good. I love animals. I always have. As a child, I was a cute little nature girl who loved to walk around barefoot and try to identify birds by the sounds that they make. I'm gonna tell you about some times that I had some close-up encounters with wild animals, and I've had quite a few. I caught and held a baby bunny when I was like 6. I was with my dad at my dad's friend's house, and we were hanging out in his garage, and Dad pointed out to me that there was a baby bunny underneath the car, and I looked down to look at it, and it ran away, and it got caught in the corner up against this, I want to say bowling ball bag, or maybe it was, I don't know. It got caught up against something, and I wasn't afraid. I was like, heck yes, I'm going to hold this baby bunny. So I just grabbed it, and I picked it up, and I was probably like, Daddy, look, what are we gonna name it? I definitely didn't realize how big of a deal that was. I mean, how many chances do you get to hold a baby wild animal? It did not bite me, but it squirmed a lot, and I held on to it for a while. It probably wasn't a long time, but it felt like a long time. It was probably like less than 5 minutes. We were just in the backyard, and I was sitting on the grass, holding the baby bunny, petting it, looking at it. I remember that its heart was beating very fast, and I remember thinking like I could accidentally give it a heart attack and kill it. So little Katie was probably thinking, okay, if I just pet the animal and be gentle with it and talk to it with a soft voice, that'll calm it down instead of letting it go. My dad convinced me to let it go by saying something like, this is its home and it probably has a mommy out there who is very worried about it, and it belongs in the wild because it's a wild animal. So I let it go and waved goodbye to it or whatever. Then when I was like 12 or something, I caught a baby turtle in the pond near my house. It's like a cute little nature park down the road. We used to go to it all the time as kids. And it has this one part where it's like a sandy pond, almost like a beach. And I was walking in it barefoot, getting my feet wet, trying not to step in geese poop. And I just saw this little thing swimming, and I'm like, what kind of fish is that? And then I get closer and I see, oh, it's a baby turtle. So I went and picked it up, and it was so cute. It wasn't a snapper, thank goodness, but I think you can tell right off the bat if it's a snapper by the shape of its head, and this wasn't a snapper. It was one of those red-eared turtles or painted turtles. So I held it and just freaked out over how cute it was, because it was just so small, and it was kicking, and it was so cute. And next thing I know, there's this mom with her little son walking by, and the little boy approaches me, and he's like, what do you have? And I'm like, it's a baby turtle. And I let him hold it and let him touch it, and because how many times are you gonna see that in your life? A little tiny baby turtle. So cute. More recently, I caught a bird and a snake, and my best friend loves these stories. There was a baby bird in my backyard. Actually, it was my next door neighbor's yard, and it was young, and it could fly, but it was just learning to fly, and I think it was a baby grackle. And she has these tall bushes, and it was just hanging out in the bush, and I was like, hey burb, what's up? And the burb jumped and tried to fly away, and it was coming down at an angle, so I just put my hands out and got underneath it and caught it, and I just looked at it for a second, and I was like, you didn't think I was gonna let you fall, did you? And then the burb pooped in my hand, so I just set it down on the ground and let it waddle away. Then, not too long after that, I caught a snake with my brother at that same pond where I caught the baby turtle. My brother is currently in this phase where he loves snakes, and he keeps talking about how much he wants a pet snake, but Dad won't let him have one. So he drove me there, and he knows that I'm good with animals, so he asked me to come along and see if I could catch one for him. Not to keep, oh my god, not as a pet, but to hold and touch and see. Oh my gosh. He even gave me these like black Under Armour gloves to put on because when you hold the snake, wild snakes anyways, they release this smelly goop on their skin, and it smells really bad and it's really hard to wash off. He told me that it's called musking, which was weird for me to hear because like I'm the one who like loves animals in the family, and he just pulls out this random fact like, oh, by the way, that's called musking. And I'm like, okay. So we were walking around the pond at sunset, and I just happened to see a big snake in front of me. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I finally saw one. But it was huge, and my next thought was, okay, that's too big. I'm not going after that thing. And the snake and I like made eye contact for like a split second, and then it just slithered away, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna let that go. And my brother came over and he's like, you didn't grab it? And I'm like, it was big. And then he saw it and he's like, Katie, it's right there, grab it. And okay, so I bravely grabbed it by the tail and pulled it out of the deep grass that it was in. And I did the thing that the gator boys do when they wrestle gators, when they remove alligators from people's like backyards and stuff, where they like tap it and then pull their hand away so that it turns around and snaps at them, and they make it do that a couple of times for a little while to make it tired before they like grab it. So I was doing that, and then I grabbed it behind the head like Steve Irwin used to do, and I felt like such a professional. And then I just held it and looked at it, and it looked at me. We named it Pete. Then we let it go and said goodbye to it, and it slithered off into the grass back where it belongs. When we got home, we looked it up and found out that it was a northern water snake. I was expecting just a garter snake when we went to the pond, and he said, catch a snake for me. I'm like, okay. Garter snakes are easy to catch. I've caught them before, and they're very common. And then I just see this big snake, and I'm like, I was scared to grab it because it was big and I've never seen that kind of snake before, and I was kind of scared that it was venomous. But then when I looked at its head, I could see that like venomous snakes have like a very scary look to them. Like they have this triangular head and their pupils are vertical. This one was smooth and round and derpy. That's all the stories I can think of right now. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment below telling me what you think. Have you ever caught a wild animal? Have you ever gotten hurt by a wild animal? Has a wild animal ever gotten into your house? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Stay hydrated, don't text and drive, etc., etc., etc. Bye!